Pain has a way of knocking the wind out of us. Whether it's betrayal, failure, or loss, the sting can feel unbearable. But the Stoics didn't view pain as a dead end. They saw it as the beginning of transformation. Marcus Aurelius, writing from the battlefield and the throne, believed that every hardship could sharpen the soul. He said, "What stands in the way becomes the way." This wasn't just motivational talk, it was a call to arms. Pain, for a Stoic, isn't something to avoid. It's a tool. It reveals what you cling to, what you fear, and where you've misplaced your strength. Instead of asking, "Why me?" the Stoic asks, "What can I build from this?" The truth is, pain shows us who we really are. Not when everything is calm and comfortable, but when the ground shakes beneath us. Do you fall apart, or do you forge something stronger from the rubble? In the face of adversity, Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. And in that single sentence lies the Stoic blueprint for turning pain into power. Are you ready to follow it? Pain strips away the noise. When you're hurting, there's no pretending, no faking strength or hiding behind distractions. And that's exactly where your power begins. The Stoics taught that suffering is a teacher, not a punishment. It exposes our weaknesses, but also points to where growth is possible. Pain, when faced with clarity and courage, becomes fuel. Seneca once said, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Think about that. We train muscles by pushing them to their limits. The same applies to the mind. Every emotional wound is an opportunity to train your resilience, to develop mental armor that doesn't shatter under pressure. Modern life sells the illusion that healing is about comfort, but comfort rarely transforms. The Stoic way isn't about numbing the pain. It's about leaning into it with purpose. It's about choosing discipline over distraction, clarity over chaos. When you stop running from discomfort, you start controlling it. That's when a shift happens. Your story stops being about what broke you and becomes about what built you. The pain doesn't disappear, but it becomes your foundation. And now, as you move forward, ask yourself, will you let pain control your story, or will you write a new one with strength? At some point, you have to make a decision. Do you keep letting pain define your life, or do you use it to shape your discipline, your mindset, your legacy? The Stoics didn't believe in staying stuck. They believed in motion, forward motion. And here's a truth they'd want you to remember. The more pain you've felt, the more potential you have for power. But let's be honest, this mindset isn't automatic. You have to train it. You have to remind yourself daily of what you're building, who you're becoming. That's why creating a routine of mental clarity is non-negotiable. It's why you're here, learning, unlearning, rebuilding. And if you're still watching, it means you're ready to go deeper. So let me ask you, are you just going to listen to these words and scroll away? Or are you ready to rewire the way you live? If this message resonates with you, if you're done with living on autopilot and ready to turn pain into clarity and strength, then hit that subscribe button right now. Not just for me, but for you. Because we're building a community of minds that don't flinch, don't run, and don't quit. This channel isn't here to entertain your pain. It's here to transform it. Let's keep growing, together. Now imagine this. Every time someone doubted you, every time life knocked you flat, every time you were overlooked, abandoned, or underestimated, that wasn't just pain. That was raw material, fuel. The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He didn't just endure difficulty, he used it. When you adopt this mindset, nothing can truly break you. You stop looking at obstacles as unfair punishment and start seeing them as personalized training. A toxic relationship, training in detachment. Financial hardship, training in discipline. Loss, training in inner peace. You are no longer a passive victim of life. You are an active student of it. And this is where your power begins. Not in comfort, not in ease, but in your ability to face storms without losing your center. Pain makes most people bitter, but in the Stoic method, pain makes you better. Not just better than you were, but better than who they ever thought you could be. Don't numb the pain, understand it. Don't suppress the emotion, control it. You're not here to escape the fire. You're here to walk through it and emerge unshaken, refined, and unstoppable. This isn't motivation. This is mindset. This is philosophy. This is armor, and you're wearing it already. So here you are, still standing, maybe scarred, maybe exhausted, but standing nonetheless. And that, in itself, is power. The Stoics weren't superhuman. They felt grief. They faced betrayal. They suffered just like we do. But what separated them wasn't what they experienced. It was how they responded. That's the lesson. You don't need perfect conditions to grow. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need the will to keep going. You need to remember that every painful moment contains a lesson, every loss contains a shift, and every setback has a seed of strength buried within it, if you're willing to look. So the next time life hits you hard, stop, breathe, step back from the noise, and ask yourself, what is this moment trying to teach me? That question turns suffering into wisdom. It turns weakness into resilience. And that's when pain becomes power. You are not here to merely survive life. You are here to shape yourself through it. Just like iron is forged in fire, your character is forged in struggle. Choose to rise, choose to endure, choose to turn pain into purpose. And ask yourself this, what if every painful thing that's ever happened to you wasn't the end, but the beginning of who you were always meant to become?